The games. Right now they're having their way with us. Kind of like I told them, in any good relationship, you got to give some love back. Right now they're getting all the love. We got to get some love back. So, yeah, it's just a little fun, sure, just to try to loosen them up a little bit. It's not rocket science. Like I say, if you've been at the games or you have any form of stats, they've gotten us here the last couple of weeks, okay. And we're just trying to change that. Just nothing against anybody.
Right.
We don't. I'm not calling out anybody or. It's more for us and our team.
But you've talked about some of the approaches in the bats, about fighting off more pitches, better two-strike approach, that kind of thing. That kind of play into that a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, just a little more. I mean, you look. I mean, I thought the guy, and tip your hat. Some of these guys have been really good. Goes back to the Auburn game when the lefty, was throwing a really good front hip two-seam to us. I thought the other lefty at Auburn started, Fisher. Then you go to the Texas weekend and. We saw three lefties that, I thought were really good against us. But, we just got to have mentality. It's more about us. It's not about, any certain pitcher we're going. We just got to change our mindset a little bit. We got the ability. We've shown that. We just got to. So that's what the shirt's for.
How fast can you turn around the 30 shirts or whatever? How many you got?
I don't. We turn those around. I don't know. When did we get back? Like, this week's flying by.
Sunday?
We got back Sunday, so Monday. So I put the order. I could have given them out yesterday. I just was waiting till. So we turned it in Monday, and they came in. I don't know, some point yesterday.
When did the idea hit you?
I actually did this one time way back in the day when I coached high school baseball in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Where were you at?
I was at Abundant Life. Okay. Yeah, that was actually that was the early 2000s. So, we were struggling hitting left-handers. Except, it's high school, so way different talent level. But it worked. So we'll see. Maybe it doesn't work. But no, this was more, we just got to change our mindset.
We talked to Coach Van Horn a while ago about your time in Arkansas, and I asked him back when you were there, had you ever taught him about becoming a head coach one day? He said you had kind of had broached it with him. And even when you were the Twins, you would kind of call him a little bit from time to time about different things.
Yeah, no, I did. I mean, that guy's awesome, man. I looked at he's a mentor for me. Yeah, my time, I don't want to get into all the phone calls I got and have gotten in my time about, schools calling, wanting to know if I was interested in a head job. And there were some times when I was at Arkansas, there were some times with the Twins when those phone calls would happen. And I would call that. I mean, the guy, come on, man. Guys, that man's career is unbelievable. I would never be able to have that. I'm not old. I'd have to be a lot younger. But I mean, come on, man. Dave's a superstar. He's a mentor for me. I love that guy. He's awesome.
What about the mentor part of it that has really kind of hit home with you?
Yeah, I mean, I still talk a lot about him with our staff. I mean, just the way, Dave's a real, he's not a big micromanager, at least in my opinion. This is just my take on him. I mean, who knows about other, assistants with him, but Dave gives you a job and he expects you to go do it. And if you do, he's awesome, man. Yeah, he knows this league, the insights, how direct and honest he is with players, I think is some things I've taken away from him and have used in my career. And, there's a lot of things.
We talked about the key, the left-handers that you guys have faced, but what's the key to putting together good at-bats after you guys scuffled a bit at Texas?
Yeah, I think part of it, we chased, I mean, you guys are going to hear me say that. I mean, I look at numbers different than the average fan, and I mean that. However, you look at a couple. The one easy stat was our walks, were different. But then you look at chase percentage too, and we chased a little over 30% of the time, and they only chased 19. And so you can walk guys if you're getting chases, and which we normally do. We get a lot of chases as a pitching staff. They just didn't chase us. And so that forced us into the heart of the zone a little more. And I mean, you guys know all that. I don't need to go into it. But I mean, when you chase, guys don't have to come into the middle of the strike zone as much. And it's harder to get off an A swing and make elite contact when you're not hitting balls in the middle of the strike zone. And so we put a high emphasis on chase this week again. And I was excited that Presbyterian threw a lefty at us because I'm like, okay, we're fixing to get two really good ones. And they got a good one out of the pen. And so it's like, yeah.
You mentioned Colton Smith a week ago, probably a week away from getting back into the rotation. Is that something that you're looking at for this weekend?
Yeah, I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, so it's out. Or it's fixing to be out. Our rotation will be Curley, Smith, and Finley this weekend. So Colton's in back into the rotation.
I'm using Goldstein now. How do you want to try it?
Yeah. I mean, guys, you look at. I mean, I don't want to give away our secrets
Sure.
or our game plan, but I think if you look at their lineup, right, left.
Yeah.
I'll just say this: you
right
need
hand.
you need a left-handed weapon slider in that bullpen to hold these guys down.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Other than the left-handed hitting of late, and I know you don't do like weekly, state of the union meetings, but as far as where the team's at, are you pretty pleased in terms of the expectations and the performance?
I am. I mean, come on, man. It's that old thing, right? If you would you have signed up for 8-4 to start the season? Sure. Do you want more? Sure. I think last week was really, really good for us because that was really the first true hostile environment we played in, and we've been able to address a couple things with some guys I think got sped up. To use that term, they weren't able to slow the game down, which is something we try to take a lot of pride in, is slowing the game down. We didn't at times. And so anytime you can find that out earlier rather than later, you always see, for me at least, it usually turns into a positive. So, we'll see this weekend. I mean, you got the best team in the country coming in, and they're the best team in the country because they're really good at all three phases of the game: pitching, defense, and hitting. And it's going to be a tough weekend and good weekend. We're good. They're good. We're just going to go right at them. I think we'll be able to slow the game down a little better, and hopefully we won't chase it.
Probably the same logic. Is it good? You feel good about jumping back into the fire then, in terms of early in the season?
Yeah, you better. It's like I've told everybody's like, you got number 1 Arkansas this weekend. I go, great. We got number whoever next week, or number whoever the next week, number whoever, and they're all going to be ranked, right?
Yeah.
And you got Georgia Tech and Clemson midweek, and it doesn't stop. So you better be ready to get back in the fire. This thing will flip on you fast.
How are you guys approaching using Trey Phelps this weekend?
Yeah, Trey's 100% available. You see him in the lineup tomorrow. I mean, we'll continue. He's got what would I call it? He's got a mini hurdle to clear today, but I've seen guys trip over that one. As we stand here today, I mean, you expect to see him playing at some point this weekend.
I know in this line you got so many veterans here, but ask you about Bryce Clavon. I thought that at bat he had in that Presbyterian game, he got that walk, all of some pretty good pitches with a look like he's maturing.
He's starting to get there. We're continuing to try to find ways to get him into the game when the matchup is screaming that. Bryce is playing, he can play anywhere, I think is what really helps him. He continues to do some really good things, and we'll continue to find ways to get him in the game.
Ask about Daniel Jackson. I mean, obviously the error you had the other day, is that kind of going to keep you from using him out there for a while, or no?
No.
Yeah.
You'll see Mr. Jackson playing this weekend.
Yeah,
So.
I didn't submit that position. I
Yeah,
guess.
no. We know Daniel's a phenomenal athlete, as you guys know. I mean, I've said it, been on record. I mean, he's probably the second fastest guy on our team.
Mm-hmm.
He can run, he can throw, he can do a lot of different things. Tough play at ball. Wind was howling out to right, and it's funny. I watched a big league game 2 nights ago and saw the same thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of go, yeah, it's going to happen. But it's that play. Yeah, I mean, we end up looking at the scoreboard and going, oh, it caught. There were other things that happened that game that cost us that game. We shouldn't have been in that situation. But Daniel's playing this weekend. You'll see him either behind the plate or in that outfield.
You mentioned slowing the game down. How do you get them to do that against a team that comes in as overhyped or as hyped as Arkansas?
Yeah, well, you have to. You can't. If a team gets up on you or you don't like your at bat, your next at bat, you're not going to hit a 5-run homer, a 7-run homer. You're not going to strike out 3 guys on 1 pitch. And just understanding that you got to get process over everything matters. And slowing the game down, staying inside your process, going, okay, I'm in a 1-0 count, and this guy did X. Just walking through your stuff, I think is something we work a lot on, and hopefully we'll be able to do. I didn't see it as much as I wanted to last weekend.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.
Thank you.